any skier or snowboarder, this is an ideal scene. Freshly fallen snow and perfectly groomed hills. But it takes a lot of time and work to get these hills ready for you. This is how Brad Jacobson and the other snowmakers and groomers at Treetops spend every day from morning till night.
When we are snowmaking, we have them 24 hours a day. And when we're grooming, it's probably about 20 hours a day when we're not snowmaking.
These hills are covered with anywhere from 18 inches to 6 feet of snow. And they can't rely just on real snow.
Basically, we're just taking compressed air and high pressure water, smashing them together and creating snow.
First, they have to make sure the conditions are just right.
The minimum temperature is 28 degrees. Here we really strive for about 27 degrees, just because it depends on the humidity.
Then they spend their day inspecting the snow guns, making sure everyone is making quality snow, breaking off all the ice that builds up, moving the power cords and water hoses so they don't get buried under the snow.
Now you know why it is a tough job.
And then move on to the next one.
So our snowmakers do this basically for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The groomers start their day around midnight.
They'll start grooming away, getting stuff pushed out, and pushing some small piles of snow and just leveling it, just making everything nice and pretty and smooth for when the skiers show up.
It might sound simple.
Left joystick back, basically it's a giant rocket ship. You can just press any button and it does something different. There you go, up, 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 up.
But driving these snow groomers or snow cats takes some practice.
All right, now stop.
Everything?
Stop. Whoa. Oh. All right. Woo!
It's a 3-step process.
The first is you push and bulldoze with your blade. You level the snow, kind of fill in with snow, fill in all those ruts and grooves. Then your tracks actually help break up that product of snow or the ice balls or the clumps of ice that may accumulate with the weather we have, especially here in Michigan.
Then the third and final step, the tiller.
The tiller actually can compress and apply down pressure and push down onto the snow and actually pack it into that corduroy. It's a lot of fun. It's a side of the ski resort that a lot of guests don't really get to see because the cats come out at night.
For tough jobs.
Yeah, so that's perfect. Great, you're hired.
Thank you.
I'm Whitney Amann.
What we're doing today is you're going to get to be introduced to the heartbeat of our company.
And the heartbeat of Morgan composting? Millions of these. But there's a lot of work and science before you'll find worm dew on store shelves. First up, making the worm bedding. It's a mix of organic proteins and minerals.
The more we can break it down in here, the better off the worms can break it down for us.
Once that's mixed, we head into the worm barn.
This is where I start to get a little nervous.
Okay, well, we're gonna get set up to start getting castings now.
And castings are?
Worm poop.
Picking out each worm one by one.
Now you're going for worm castings. So take this, scuff it up, and then you gotta pick these out and put them in there so they get new bedding, like that.
So what am I looking? I'm looking for the actual worms?
Yep.
Okay, I really don't know that I can do this.
There's no reason they're not gonna bite you.
There's one. Okay, I did it. Did one. I'm going to have nightmares about worms crawling all over me.
But as it turns out, there's a much easier and less slimy way to do it.
Now you wanna go run it through the harvester. This separates the worms so you don't have to do this by hand. Trisha's.
Separating the castings from the eggs and the worms. Throughout the process, to get 400,000 pounds of castings, there's a lot of shoveling.
I think I just seen her do that. I really do. I think she went like...
And of course, feeding the worms. Then it gets bagged up.
The first day on the bagger is never a good day.
Nope.
or mixed with other materials before it makes its way to your garden, lawn, or farm.
There's a mission behind the madness, and the mission behind the madness has to do with recycling. It has to do with environmentally protecting our society today.
For Tough Jobs,
would you hire Whitney?
I don't think we'd get much done in a hurry.
I'm Whitney Amann.
A lot of it starts out with, obviously, the lumber that we get.
Turning all of this into apple and vegetable crates.
It's all oak, and we get all of it from sawmills in northern Michigan area. So Mayo, Fairview, Cadillac, pretty much all of the surrounding north.
But this family business didn't happen overnight.
My dad started about a little over 25 years ago.
With just a small order and building them in the corner of his barn. But now, 25 years later,
we build probably between around 10 to 15,000 a year now.
To farms all across Michigan and surrounding states. And it's not just these apple boxes they build.
Anywhere from fruit and vegetable boxes, root crop, potato, onion, beets, apple, peaches, pickle, and all those boxes have a different size. And a lot of the farmers have their own specs, how they want the box. Starts out with pretty much what they call a cant, which is a squared log, and then we have a cutoff that cuts the length, squares it up, and then a resaw that cuts it into boards. And then from there we use those sizes to build the box. Ow. Now you want to set them upright like this, and you want to make sure they're level. So what we're doing right now is making sure we build the box square. Now you want to do 3 nails in each board all the way across. Just remember, as soon as you hit that with the wood, it's going to fire.
Are you holding it?
If you don't shoot me, see over here? You made it peek through, it's going to damage the fruit. So make sure you stay closer to the edge so it doesn't peek through. Beautiful. 2 people, once they get the hang of it, can build a box in about 8 minutes.
How long did it take us?
About an hour and a half.
Would you hire Whitney?
So the #1 thing I always look for somebody when we hire is dedication to the work and the work ethic, and she definitely qualified for that. So.
For Tough Jobs in Cedar,
I think I messed up.
I'm Whitney Amann. Whether it's a fire, a car accident, or medical call, they're the first ones there.
This is all stuff that we have to wear on every call.
And they're always ready to answer your call.
We have a 1.5-minute turnout time. So what that means is the tones will drop. We have to be dressed like this in the fire truck and rolling out the door in less than a 1.5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Caleb's 34-31, Whitney's 35-70. A quick study, that's good.
Add in this mask and backpack, and they're ready to run towards what most run away from.
This is a SCBA, so self-contained breathing apparatus. This is what's keeping you alive. This is your air.
Lean forward and hike it up high.
Through the hundreds of hours put into the Fire Academy, every firefighter learns the basics. From what type of hose to use.
There's supply line, or supply hose, there's fire attack hose, and there's hose that can do both. Head right for the door. Caleb's gonna flake hose behind you. Before you go inside, we check the pressure.
Oh,
This hose line's ready to go attack fire.
and how to use it.
Fire department, anybody in there?
Okay, we ready?
Good, shut her down.
To the different types of ladders.
Now Whitney, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand on the end of it and you're gonna crouch and you're gonna grab that 3rd rung. What you're doing is by your weight being here, you're setting it into the ground. Let's raise it. Okay, now Whitney, you're gonna pull on this rope, it's heavy.
And safest way to climb them.
So when you climb a ladder, 3 points of contact. 1, 2, 3. You just grab the back and you just go up.
Some emergencies could also require them to force their way into a house or room. Then they're eventually ready to put it all to the test with search and rescues.
All right, Whitney, right hand search.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh my gosh.
Don't forget to search the room. You got to get out in the room a little bit. You're on the wall, you're on the wall, you're on the wall, you're on the wall. New wall. Cool, cover that space, Whitney. Good job. All right, what do you got on your left, Whitney?
I got a chair.
Chair! Check the chair. People sit in chairs, right?
No.
Anybody in that one?
No.
Okay. Keep going. Find his face. Protect his face. We protect his head. All right, Whitney, whatever you got to do to get him out. Come on, Whitney, big pull. Good, 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 good. No. You're good right where you're at.
We're done?
You're done, Whitney.
But all of this training is just the beginning of a firefighter's career.
There's hundreds of hours of training. There's always something new to learn. What you got here is just a snapshot. Even when they leave fire school, we always tell them they're just learning the foundation. And when they start getting into fire stations, they're putting the first floor on and they start building their house of their career.
Would you hire Whitney?
I think Whitney's got a shot. I think you probably would. You'd have to spend some time in the weight room, Whitney.
For Tough Jobs,
Was that hard?
Yeah.
I'm Whitney Amann.